Hello, this is my first video on my Southeast Asia 47-day adventure, 49 including travelling. So I'll be going away for 7 weeks from the 13th of July, which is in just 12 days time, and I am very much counting down the days. So there's a Southeast Asia adventure with Gap 360, the company. So this is my first video of many. So I'm going in 12 days time. So I just thought my first video, just to get it all off the ball going, I will tell you about my flight and my my itinerary, that's the word I was looking for the 47 days. Don't know if I'll go through absolutely everything, but this is what I'm doing on my 47-day adventure. So I'll kind of go in order on my flight and my itinerary. Go through my 47 days. So I leave a week on Sunday, as it is now. My first flight is at, what time? 7:45 in the morning from Manchester Airport, which means I'll be leaving. I forgot to say, I'm going with two lovely mates of mine, Ben and Reece, who I'm sure some of you will know, some of you will not know. But Ben and Reece are good mates of mine, and I'm sure we will have a really, really good time. So, but I'm sure they'll appear in some of these videos as well, because I know some of you want them to. So, the first flight at 7:45 in the morning, I'm getting picked up by Reece's sister, and so Reece only lives 5 minutes from me, so he can easily come and pick me up. It just makes sense to travel together to the airport. So that'll be at 7:45 in the morning, the first flight. Probably get picked up about 4, I don't know. Not really bothered what time I get picked up, as long as I make it to the airport to check in on time. And then the first flight is to Istanbul. What we done was we went on Skyscanner to book all the flights, and we sorted it by cheapest. First of all, we quoted Gap 360, the company we're doing the adventure with. We asked for a quote from them to see what flights they could get us, because we're doing an official 40-day trip with Gap 360. The first 7 days, where I'll be off to Singapore and Bali, they are not covered by Gap 360, they are independent travel. We said we wanted to do either or Bali or Singapore, really, and what Gap 360 were quoting us was a lot of money compared to what the flights ended up being. They quoted us nearly £3,000 for a flight, pretty much, each, that is. But then we went on to Skyscanner, done it ourselves, and we managed to go to Singapore and Bali, so both of them in the course of 7 days, and it was about 1,100. So not cheap, don't get me wrong, but it's much better than what they quoted us, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to do this, so it's why we are doing it. So the first flight, so what we done was pretty much go on cheapest. That's what we done for the dates we wanted to. So there are changes on the flight, and they are long travel times that I'll get into here. So 13th of July 2025. Manchester to Istanbul. Time of departure 7:45 in the morning, as I just said. Duration 4 hours 15 minutes. So we arrive into Istanbul at 2 PM local time there. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we're getting to Istanbul there. We're going with EasyJet on that flight. And then at 7:20 PM, this got changed this morning as I'm recording this. First of all, I thought, 55-minute delay. Turns out the flight's leaving 55 minutes early. So we were going to have 6 hours 15 minutes in Istanbul. So we thought, we're going to Istanbul for the day. And now it has been changed, so we've only got 5 hours 20 minutes in Istanbul. That is due to Iran and Iran-Israel war, and you can't fly over Iran at the moment. I was actually talking to my uncle this morning about it, and my uncle did say that Istanbul is a big airport and you probably need 6 hours anyway. So 6 hours probably wouldn't have gone into Istanbul anyway. but I think the 5 hour 20 now, I don't think we'll be going into Istanbul. And that is because, if my screen wants to come back up where I got all the flights, the next flight at 7:20 p.m, that on the 13th of July, we are leaving Istanbul, and we are taking a 7 hour flight, which was previously just over 6 hours, I think. And that flight is to Mumbai, India. Obviously, I mean, I never said Istanbul was in Turkey, but if you don't know where Istanbul, Mumbai is, then you're not a geography teacher. Like me, Ben and Reed. Me, Ben and Reed are all geography teachers. So, yeah, so Mumbai, Istanbul to Mumbai. We're getting into Mumbai at 4:50 local time. Obviously, in Mumbai, if you didn't know, they have half an hour time zone. So it's quite 7 hours, but the duration, but we leave at 20 past the hour and get in at 10 to the hour. Could have bit away time zone work in India, Mumbai specifically. And then we have a bit of a layover in Mumbai, but it was never enough time to go into India itself, like leave the airport, and also you have to pay for visas, so it wouldn't have been worth it even if we had 6 hours stay in Mumbai. But we don't have that long. We've got about 4 hours. What time? Get into Mumbai at, what was it, 4:50 a.m. and we leave Mumbai at 8:40 a.m. Maybe we'll try and sleep, because if you didn't realise, that's already unofficially, without time zone, that's 24 hours travelling. Because if I'm leaving my house at 4 a.m. and when we're getting into Mumbai at 4:50 a.m, then that's 25 hours, but obviously with time zone, it's under that. And we're still not at our first destination. So, the first destination is Singapore, and Mumbai we leave at 8:40, like I just said, and then we're taking a 6 hour 10-minute flight. Yes, we are. We're going to Singapore, and we'll be getting in, so we're actually getting into our first destination now in Singapore at 5:20 p.m. that day. So that day is the 14th. So I'm leaving my house at about 4 a.m. on the 13th, and we're getting to our first destination at 5:20 p.m. on the 14th. So that is a day and a half, effectively. Obviously, with time zoned, it's a bit less than that. Well, about 8 hours less than that. But it's still way over a day. And I don't do sleep travelling. I never have done. I'm going to have to try, because I'm not going to Singapore to sleep. And you'll see later on when I tell you about other parts of it that it's just going to be not a lot of sleep and quite a lot of action. So, we get into Singapore. Singapore is independent travel. So what are we going to do in Singapore? So we're getting at 5:20. That night we'll be checking into our hotel. All the hotels are booked apart from the final night, but we'll get to that. So the hotel is booked in Singapore. It's a decent little place for us. The criteria are basically quite cheap, but also not staying in a hostel, because we're staying in enough of them on the Gap 360 trip when we get to Thailand. So we're staying in a decent hotel in Singapore. It's not bad, but Singapore is very expensive. So it's also not top of the range. And so we check into our hotel, and then we'll just go for an explore on the first night, I think. So we'll go for explore for the rest of the 14th, and then, we'll just check out the culture. I kind of want to go over, we want to see Yas Marina, we want to go to Chinatown. We want to see, not Yas Marina, that's UAE, isn't it? I'm getting me F1 Grand Prix mixed up. Go to Singapore, I can't remember what it's called, but Singapore. See the boat. And so we'll be going there. And then the next day, I believe it's the next day on the 15th. Yeah, it is, yeah. On the 15th, we are going to Universal Studios, Singapore. So this is on Sentosa Island, which is a place I really want to go. It's basically a separate island of Singapore. There is a bridge so you can drive across it, so we could get a taxi. Or we could do what I personally want to do. I consulted with Ben and Rita about this, but I want to get a cable car over. One thing I also thought, when we get into Singapore Airport on that 14th, Singapore Airport is widely regarded as the best airport in the world. There's a train that goes right through, there's massive waterfalls, it's basically a tourist attraction in itself. Singapore was built around the airport. The airport was built to be a connecting airport, and the city was built around that because people stayed over and a connecting airport, stayed the night in Singapore, built the economy that way. It's a really good way of doing it, in my opinion. So the airport is top of the range. So I definitely want to be looking on there. But yeah, we're going to go to Sentosa Island. They'll show you all get some lovely pictures of Sentosa Island because it does look very colourful, very nice. And we're going to Universal Studios. So when we booked this, it was quite late at night, and I was like, yeah, let's go to Universal. Then I remembered I can't go on rides. Me and rides don't go together, and especially when I'm not going to be home for 50 days, I don't think going on rides is a good idea for me. But I'm sure Universal will be a brilliant place anyway. There's more than just rides. I know we can't buy a lot because we are travelling around and we've got baggage limits, and I will do a video next week about what I am taking to Singapore. Might do a little bit of a podcast package thing, I don't know yet. Haven't decided, but I will. I want to take it to Asia, I want to Singapore, I want to take it on the whole trip. In my bag, it can't be more than 20 kilos. But we'll get to that in a future video. So, so we're going to Singapore, going to Universal Studios, and then that night, don't really know what we're doing now. If we're doing anything else that day in Singapore, it will be mainly just going to Universal because that is a day thing. Don't know if they got a night show as well because we could stay for that. But we've got the rest of Singapore to explore. It basically is just exploring. And then on the 16th, so the day after, we do leave that day, but not until 4:50 p.m. I assume we probably have to check out of our hotel about 10. I mean, that's European culture. I don't know if it's any different in Asia. We might have to check out at 2 a.m. I highly doubt it. Don't know what time we have to check out on the 15th, but we will. And suppose if our flight's at 4:50, suppose we probably we have to have breakfast and then do a little couple of bits maybe, but have to be at the airport for 1. So that's what we'll do. Not a lot, just, maybe there'll be a couple of things that take me eye in Singapore that I want to investigate. But there is quite a bit of it that we want to remain, open for interpretation. We, get there, not too fixated on a schedule. Because we do want to explore. That's the whole point of it. We're going to Asia to explore places. That's what we'll be doing. So then at 4:50 on the 16th of July, so this is what I leave on the 13th, 16th of July, Singapore to Bali. The flight duration is 2 hours 35. Excuse me. So 2 hours 35 flight duration, time of arrival 7:25 p.m. You're thinking, okay, so I'll be doing that. What am I going to do after that? You're thinking maybe, going 7:25 p.m. I might want an early night, Might want to just check into our villa, have an early night, wake up early, bright and early for the next morning. You would be wrong! What's the least thing you would expect you to do after arriving into a country at 7:25 a.m? p.m, should I say. Well, we're going to check into our hotel. We'll do that. We've got a lovely villa in Bali. A lovely place for us to relax. We can relax by the pool. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll relax by the pool. No, we won't. So, at 1 a.m, yes, you heard me right, 1 a.m, on the day we get into, on the night we get into Bali, we're getting picked up Actually, I need to think about that because our hotel wasn't on the pick-up list. We had our villa had a whole list of pick-ups. Our one wasn't actually on there. I need to chase that up actually. I messaged Ben and Reese about that. Ben, Reese, if you're watching this, then yeah, I don't know if that's been sorted yet. Hope it has. Cause I got an email about that and then I did put it in again, I think, but I don't know. I have to check. So we're getting picked up at 1 a.m. to go to a sunrise hike with natural hot springs up an active volcano. Yeah, you heard me right. We're going up a volcano. We're going to have lovely views of the sunrise. We're going to have natural hot springs to relax in and breakfast is included. So we're going to be doing that. We're not going to sleep that night because it's impossible. There will be a 1 hour coach journey. So maybe we might get half an hour skipping. I doubt it. Definitely me, I won't. Takes me ages to fall asleep in the bed. Never mind anything else. So yeah, don't know how likely that is to happen to get any sleep. But we'll be hiking up the hill. Then we'll be hiking back down about 9 a.m. The scheduled time. But where would we go after 9 a.m? You might think, oh, we're not going to sleep that night. Maybe we're just going to sleep during the day instead. We'll just do that. You would be wrong again. This time, we're going to stop off at a different place, which is because we're in Bali, not the biggest island, but it's still got a distance to it. Where the natural hot spring is, the sunrise hike, the monkey sanctuary is that way. So on the way back, we're going to go to the monkey sanctuary. Yep, you heard me right. We're going to go to the monkey sanctuary to see all the monkeys, funny enough, and do whatever you do with the monkeys in Bali. The cultural experience. So that would be on the, if I've got the dates right, the 17th of July, that's going to happen. So then, all this on the 17th, we're going to get back, don't know what time from the monkey place, but we'll get back from there. Need to figure out how we're going to get back from there, but sure we will. Sure we'll figure that out. And we're going to go to our villa. Probably then, you would be right in assuming we're going to relax a bit. Until the night. The nightlife in Bali is something you can't get picked up. It's brilliant. So we're going to go to it's called the Monkey something or other bar club I wanted to go to. We got day clubs as well. We'll be going to the beach clubs. Let's just safely say that. We're going to Bali to go to a beach club. My mum wants me to buy her some Bali jewellery. I'm sure I can do that on the beach somewhere. I will do that. And so that'll be our night. Probably going to the club. Not waking up we're not going to bed until late after the club shot. I don't know what Bali time club shot is, but I assume it might be past midnight. So sleep again. I don't know. Maybe alcohol will get me through it. Who knows? Something had to get me through it. We were saying Red Bull will get us through it. Red Bulls and alcohol. I'm sure they will. Can't believe we're only in Bali on 18 minutes into this video. Safe to say this video might be split into different parts. I'm going to do my first 7 days in this part before we even get to the adventure. So this is just my first 7 days. There will be part 2 to it. I doubt there'll be a part 3 because I will just be reading off the script because we haven't planned our own for 4 days. So it probably will only be a part 2. So that's when we get to the next day in Bali, which would be the 18th of July. Happy birthday, Mum, on the 18th of July. That's a day where we genuinely are just going to relax by the pool, etc. on the beach. There's a part of me that really wants to go to the water park in Bali. And we'll see how I am that day. Because I had a good chance we will just be sleeping through that day and just going to the beach, probably sleeping on the beach on a sunbed or something. But there's really parts of me I want to go to Denpasar Water Park because it looks amazing. If we had another day in Bali, I'd absolutely be all over it. But might just be beach stuff. Then that night we are again planning on going out. Maybe spend the day at the beach club as well that day. Who knows? But that's what we'll be doing in Bali and Singapore on our first 7 days. Because then on the 19th of July, well, we can't really be up too late the night before, because we have a flight from Bali at 2:45 p.m. So 2:45 p.m. It's not bad time, I guess. So we can spend the morning, you know, not waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but also not having a full lie-in. When we get to Bali Airport, I think Bali Airport isn't actually that big. I don't know. We're Denver Airport. So we get there, 4 hours 25-minute flight, which will get us into Bangkok at 6:10 p.m. So we'll be getting in at 6:10 p.m. that day on the 19th of July. And that'll be us for that night. We'll probably just check in. We are arriving into Bangkok a day before the official 40-day trip starts. So I will finish this video by talking about that 40-day, by talking about the night before the 40-day trip starts, could make sense to. So Gap 360 will be picking us up from Bangkok the day before, so when we get into Bangkok at 10 p.m, and taking us to the first hostel where we're staying at, because this will be the hostel we're staying at the next day, well, when the trip starts. They can do it an extra night for 25 quid, and we were all over it, we said yes. So they're doing an extra night there. It's just the flight timing worked out that way that we got in the night before. Because the 40-day trip starts the next day, but not actually until. The only thing we're doing that day is an evening meal, which is kind of going into the next video. So I'll finish off. If you don't want to know about the flight and such, then you can turn off now. But I will talk about the flight, where we're situated and who we're flying with right at the end of this video. And it will only be up to now, I won't bore the rest of the flight. For, well, some I don't know in the 40-day trip. I don't even the flight back home I know about now. So feel free to click off there, and I hope you'll enjoy me. You will watch the next videos and enjoy them. Don't know how many there'll be, hopefully a lot, but with internet, with, I don't know, just with life, might not be uploading videos. I will be uploading some videos, definitely taking a lot of pictures. So you will definitely see a lot more of me. The next one will be a part 2 to it, which will be recorded probably tomorrow. So I'll be doing that. And then I'll also be doing a video of what I pack before I go. And yeah, so that's that. Apart from if you want to hear about my flight who I'm flying with. So Manchester to Istanbul. We're flying with EasyJet on that. I did say that, didn't I? I forgot. I was going to do it for Malta. I did have to do this bit at the end. But for all the flights, we have got the back row of every single one. And how it worked was, Reece really wanted the aisle seat. I would rather not be in the middle and be on the window. So I said, I'll take the window, and Ben took the middle. Obviously, on every single flight this is, obviously, that can be changed. If, you know, I think Ben doesn't want to be in the middle of every flight, but he did just say, I'm not bothered about it. I think Ben doesn't. Ben, if you do want to be in the middle of every flight, then feel free. Because I like the window seat, because I don't get out to go to the toilet. I assume I will have to get out to go to the toilet at some point on these flights. But I can't remember the last time I've been on a plane toilet. I famously held on to my bowel movements from Manchester to Ibiza once. I'm sure I could go a lot further. I definitely never emptied my bowels. I don't think I'm trying to think of me going to Vegas, changing in New York. I did go to the toilet on the way. On the way back, did I go to the toilet? On the way, I mean, like in New York, I went to the toilet, not on any plane. I genuinely don't think I did. I definitely went to the toilet as soon as I got to uni that day. I don't think I just don't go to the toilet. Did not need it. So for the whole way back from Vegas to home, don't think I went to the toilet once. Maybe I did, but don't know. Don't remember. So yeah, so actually we're flying with EasyJet to Istanbul. Istanbul to Mumbai and Mumbai to Singapore. These two are not self-transferred. So they transfer our bag. So from Istanbul to Singapore, I won't see my bag. So that's with Indigo. Good job it's not with Air India. I did look. As soon as I heard about that crash, I'm going to double check. But I didn't think it was with Air India, and it's not with Indigo, which I'm reliably informed is a decent airline. And then from Singapore to Bali, we're with KLM, the Dutch airline from Singapore to Bali. Oh well, we'll see. Should be alright. And then from Bali to Bangkok, that's with Air Asia. Know about Air Asia because they sponsored QPR and they also sponsored Premier League referees back in the day. So yeah, that's it for what I know of the flight so far. Well, we're on the way. So like I said, if you have enjoyed this video, then do give it a thumbs up, I guess. Subscribe for more Southeast Asian content coming up, which I'm sure will be a lot more exotic than in my bedroom. But you never know. There will be a lot more videos, like I said. Hopefully I don't think it's going to be daily. It might be daily, but thinking I can't edit I wish I was capable of editing. Ollie Holford, if you want to edit all the videos together and I'll record a bunch of them and give them to you, then I'd love that. But no, I just, I will try and record. I will be uploading shorts as well, I think, because quite a few will be under 60 seconds, under 3 minutes or whatever. But I will try and do long form videos as well. But that's it for now. I'll do part 2 tomorrow of this, what I'm doing on my 40-day trip. Which will be a lot more structured than this because it does actually have a script, an itinerary script for them. And then I'll do what I'm packing as well. I'll do that video next week once I've actually, as I'm packing or once I've packed. So that'll be it for now. I will see you in the next video soon. Goodbye.